My name is Sylvia Massey. I'm a record producer, and you're here with me at my studio in Oregon, Studio Divine.
I am Randy Sherry. I'm with Timberline Music Company and with the Timberline Express Big Band. I've known about Sylvia and had the idea that this would be a great place to come and do a full big band recording. And her reputation just kind of preceded her. Coming here to this setting is just an amazing setting, and it's really what this band really has needed. Working with Sylvia is just such an absolute pleasure and is very encouraging to the band, and it just brings out the best that a band can produce.
Well, this is my studio, Studio Divine, and I have a Neve 8038, circa 1972. To be honest, I haven't done a lot of big band recordings. Okay, I've done some small orchestras, but big band is its own unique thing. And I had to study to figure out what I needed to do to get a good recording. So I went to my hero, Al Schmitt, and I researched on how he records at Capitol, in the A room at Capitol, because I want to get this similar kind of sound. So it turns out that on all the trumpets and the saxes, he uses Neumann U67 mics. Really, they're so expensive, and I was trying to figure out, well, how am I going to get so many tube mics to do this correctly? There's 5 saxes, there's 4 trumpets. They all need tube mics to do it the Al Schmitt way. And then ribbons on the trombones. Okay, I have enough ribbons, but I didn't have nearly enough tube mics for this job. But the wonderful people at Warm Audio helped me out by letting me use their WA-47s and WA-251s.
My name is Ivan Handwerk, and I'm an audio engineer. A band this big is tough to pull off because of the price of all the things you would need to do it right, you know, with the right microphones and equipment. To do it with typical vintage mics, I think it would cost around like $90,000 for this session to just buy all the tube mics you would need. And you can do it with the Warm mics for around $7,000 is what it costs to do this session.
So we had a choice of 2 different tube mics. We have the WA-47, which I put on the saxophones, and then the WA-251s, which I used for the trumpets. And the 251 is going to have a little bit of a sweeter top. It's going to be a little brighter. So I put those on the trumpets to really bring out clarity on the top frequencies, and it worked great. The 47s were really warm and full on the saxes. So the sax section was really thick and nice. So these mics, I set them up. I did research on distance of the trumpets and distance from the saxes and positioning. I had to be careful with levels. Trumpets are extremely loud, and they can overwhelm a microphone typically, but there wasn't really any problem with this. I just made sure that my pre's had pads on them, and it worked great. Well, for the trombones, I used the WA-412 mic pre's along with a set of ribbons. And this was really important because I didn't want to have phantom power automatically going to these ribbon mics because it'll pop them. So I very easily just turned off the phantom power on the 412 and then brought up my levels, and everything sounded great immediately. No need for any EQ or anything. The same thing with the trumpets too. No EQ on these. It's just the combination of the mic pre, and just a good space to record in.
When you're recording in a studio and everything needs to be precise, I found that the playback or what I'm hearing in my headphones was absolutely crystal clear, and it really improves intonation of the band. It certainly improved the intonation of the trumpet section that I'm working with, and all of our horns have a different tuning on different notes. Not every horn plays the same, but for us to be able to hear each other and to have clarity really improves the intonation of the section. So I'm really impressed with using these mics for this recording.
The WA-84s are a small diaphragm condenser that I found are great on cymbals. So I put the WA-84 on the ride cymbal and on the hat on our drum kit. And the ride cymbal is almost the most important rhythm instrument in this recording, because you're thinking of jazz, you're thinking ding, 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 ding. That ride has to really come through, not harsh, but really shiny. And that was the perfect mic for the job. Everything, every song, it happened so quickly that I was a bit stunned at how quickly we got good sounds. Having the new warm audio mics made all the difference in the world, and I got the best recording I could have possibly gotten here at my little studio in Oregon. Right here is one of those German tube mics, built in 1950, and I've had it for a long time, and I love this mic. It's a bit temperamental, so it doesn't always work, but I forgive it because it's kind of 60 years old, almost 70 years old. Geez, that's a long time to be a mic. But I realized after this session that for the price of one of these, you can get all these warm mics, tube mics, and 10 more. So I think there's no question about it. I think that the warm audio mics are really the way to go.